Last week, members of the European Parliament's Trade Committee were in Mumbai when gunmen attacked several tourist sites, including the Taj Mahal Hotel. EPP-ED TV caught up with one of the MEPs, MEP for London Syed Kamall, to hear his story. So Syed Kamall, you and two other members of the EPP-ED Group were in the Taj Mahal Hotel in Mumbai when the gunmen struck. Tell us what you saw.
Well, I had just left the hotel and I got a phone call from Sajjad Karim, who asked me where I was, and I told him that I just left the hotel, and he said, well, whatever you do, don't come back to the hotel. Sajjad was in the lobby of the hotel when a gunman came in, opened fire, and Sajjad had run for cover, and he was hiding somewhere in the hotel. And I was in the restaurant at the time, so I told my colleagues who were with me in the restaurant about the situation, and we all tried to contact everyone else from the international trade delegation to find out whether they were safe or not.
So you communicated with Saj via text message when he was actually in the basement of the hotel, I understand.
That's right. The initial was a voice call, and after that we were communicating by text messages. We were also trying to call all the other committee secretariat and other members who are trying to find out exactly where everyone was and to warn them of the situation.
So what was going through your mind when you were talking to MEPs, particularly socialists as well, who was also in the hotel?
We were very worried for them. We were concerned, especially when we had texts back saying, it's very dangerous here, don't come back. And then as we saw the news unfold overnight, and fortunately there was a television in the restaurant where we were, it became quite clear to us that we should not go on the streets and that we should hide in a restaurant and stay there for the rest of the night. At the time, we simply didn't know, but when we saw the stories that the gunmen were looking at tourist destinations and that they were on the streets, for a few hours we wondered whether we were going to be next. Now, with hindsight, looking back, I wasn't actually in danger. But at the time, probably for about 5 hours that night, I had no idea whether we were going to see gunmen turn up at our restaurant. But then we saw one story that was saying that the gunman was targeting well-known tourist destinations. And we were in a restaurant that is a well-known tourist destination. And we were concerned that the gunmen were going to come for us.
So you were there with a trade delegation. What was the purpose of the meeting?
We were there to discuss mainly the EU-India trade agreements and discussions. Those had been delayed at the request of the Indian government, and we're hoping to restart those discussions in January. We were also looking at the wider World Trade Organization talks and trying to understand India's position at the World Trade Organization talks and trying to get them to understand the EU's position.
And will you go back?
I think it's very important that we do not let the terrorists win on this. The terrorists want to sow disharmony, both between Muslim and non-Muslim, but also between India and the EU. And I think we should show them that they will not win on this. We should go back and we should allow life to carry on as normal as before.